Welcome. What you're about to hear is something most people never talk about. You won't find this in university textbooks or official archives. Even those who dedicate their lives to studying psychology usually avoid it. It's one of those things whispered quietly, in private conversations, by people brave enough to admit that not everything can be explained by science. This is a story about Carl Jung, the famous psychologist who gave us ideas like archetypes, the collective unconscious, and the deeper meaning of dreams. But there's another side to Jung, one that rarely sees the light of day. In 1944, Jung was hospitalized after suffering a serious heart attack. It was bad enough that doctors recorded a period of cardiac arrest, several minutes when his heart stopped, and technically, he was dead. But something strange happened during those minutes. Jung later said it wasn't just unconsciousness. He had actually left his body, not in a dream, not in his imagination. In a detailed letter to a Swiss colleague, someone he referred to only as He, Jung described what happened during those few minutes on the edge of life and death. This letter remained hidden for decades until it was discovered by his grandson and quietly passed on to a filmmaker. Jung described floating high above the earth. He said there was no pain, no fear, and no sense of time. Everything human had fallen away. What he saw was a beautiful blue sphere, like our planet, but unfamiliar, as if seen with new eyes. He recognized it as Earth, but not the way we normally perceive it. He felt pulled toward it, almost magnetically. Then he said, something extraordinary happened. He found himself inside what he called an ancient temple, not made of stone or wood, but entirely made of light. It wasn't glowing like sunlight or fire, it was light. The structure itself was made from it. He went on to say that in this place, he encountered a presence. It didn't speak with words, but it filled him with understanding, as if thoughts were flowing directly into him like warm water. He described the feeling that life is not just about growing your personality or ego, it's a lesson for the soul. Death, he said, is not the end, but a door. And beyond that door lies something real, something we're not ready to face. But then, he was pulled back. He heard the voices of doctors and felt a sharp pain in his chest. He had returned to his body. Yet, he said one thing that still haunts readers of the letter. What I witnessed is not a metaphor. We are unprepared for it. So why didn't Jung ever publish this? Why keep such a powerful experience secret? He admitted in the letter that the world in the 1940s wasn't ready. He feared being dismissed as insane or accused of abandoning science for mysticism. In his own words, now preserved in a private archive in Basel, Jung wrote, "If I had spoken of this then, I would not have been understood. Perhaps they thought I was mad, but I didn't go insane. I witnessed a mind-chilling truth." Do you feel it? That quiet shiver? This isn't just a story, it's a revelation. Jung believed that his experience wasn't unique. He was convinced that many people have felt or seen something similar, but were too afraid or confused to talk about it. He found hints of the same temple of light in ancient myths, in the dreams of his patients, and in the visions of tribal shamans. He mentioned something he never put in his published work, the space between worlds. Was this just a poetic phrase? Or did he really travel somewhere between life and death? One passage from the letter stands out as both chilling and beautiful. I saw faces not familiar to me in this life, but I knew them. They had souls. One was my father, another, a child I never had. In those moments, Jung didn't remember his life story. He remembered himself, not the person shaped by time, identity, or memory, but something deeper, something eternal. He called it total recognition. No language, no thoughts, just perfect, clear awareness. And now maybe you're starting to wonder, what else is waiting behind the curtain of life? Later events are considerably more opaque. Jung saw the future before returning. He first didn't grasp what he saw, but later, back in the hospital, he was busily writing notes and realized it was a glimpse of mankind many years from now. The universes will eventually blur, he saw. People would see and feel more. That would be liberating and dangerous. Not everyone will be ready when reality tears. Some will go insane. Several will wake. Do you hear a prophecy or warning? Jung knew this couldn't be published. He pondered destroying the letter, but he stipulated that it be read only when the world reached the threshold. Today, about 80 years later, we arrive. What did he envision in that future? Why did his voice shake when describing his vision's end? From here, it gets deeper. Jung didn't write directly. He did not state, "This is how it will be." He knew metaphor was powerful, but this message was more relaxed. He depicted the future as a world of brightness without shadow, adding, "And where there is no shadow, there is no depth." What did he mean? He saw humanity's future as a mirror without reflection. Everything was apparent. Everything was apparent. Everything exposed, liberated yet lost. I saw a world where death was transparent, but something important had disappeared. All forgetfulness, anguish, and misery were gone. The spirit weighs less without them. He seemed to suggest that pain is part of the journey, that dawn cannot be understood without darkness. But even in that place between incarnations, he sensed peace, perfect, inconceivable on earth. Only one question was permitted at some time. He questioned, "What is the truth?" A vision provided the answer. The tree's roots went into darkness and its crown burned. "Truth is not knowledge," he wrote. "This is growth. Pain is a blessing. Darkness became light." Are you feeling it? This goes beyond philosophy. A deep-seated blow. Jung could not remain. He felt dragged back again. I pleaded to stay. Everything is wrong on earth. Fear, misery, confusion. A low but audible voice said, "Not yet." In 1944, something happened to Jung that changed him deeply. He slowly woke up in a hospital room, surrounded by the smell of medicine and the quiet sounds of machines. But something inside him was different. He didn't speak much at first. He stayed silent, calm, and distant. He didn't rush to share what had happened. Instead, he waited. He believed that everyone finds their path in their own time. Quietly, he began writing down symbols, ideas, and strange thoughts, things he couldn't explain fully but felt deeply. Many of his later writings were inspired by what he saw and felt during that time. They weren't for everyone, only for people who were ready to search for deeper meaning. He once said, "When you arrive there, no one will ask who you were. The real question is, how much did you become yourself? Have you ever asked yourself who you are without the roles you play, without your fears, without your habits? What's left when everything on the outside fades away?" Jung believed he found the answer, and now, maybe you're ready to hear it too. After this experience, he couldn't return to normal life. He said, "I came back, but a part of me stayed there." At night, he would sometimes hear a soft voice calling to him, like the wind outside a window, gentle but very real. He looked for answers in old books, in alchemy, in ancient Greek ideas, and in Jewish mysticism. He felt that people long ago had seen the same things he saw when he left his body. But what he didn't say clearly is even more mysterious. He hinted that there was something beyond the light, a kind of presence that watches you. He wrote, "Not everything beyond the threshold is bright. Some are there to test you. They won't let you go further until you're ready." He never called them evil or dark, but he warned us to be careful. He described them as cold, able to stop your soul from moving forward. But he also said he felt no fear. Coming back to life wasn't a punishment. It was a gift. He had more time to share his story and prepare others. He didn't call himself a teacher. He said, I am just a messenger standing at the border. That's the most important part. In the second-to-last part of his letter, written with a shaky hand, he left a strange message. It says, "If you're reading this, then you've heard the call. It's quiet, like breathing in a dream, but it's there. Don't turn away. You'll be shown the way. Don't be afraid, do you understand?" At that moment, he wasn't writing about himself anymore. He was writing about you. We all go through something that cracks open our normal world. A sickness, a loss, a strange dream, or the feeling that someone unseen is near us. That's the invitation. That's where the path begins. It's not about whether you believe in another world. The real question is, if something beyond this world knocks on your door, will you answer? There was one last piece of the letter. It looked like a postscript, small and worn, just a few lines. But those lines felt the strongest. He wrote that truth isn't just knowledge. It's meeting yourself without lies, without titles, without anything fake. And once that happens, everything else burns away. Only your true self remains. Are you ready to face that? After that letter, Jung never spoke about the experience again. He went back to helping others, writing books and giving lectures. But he knew that his most important story, the real one, was never published in a book. It lived on the edge of life and death. And now, here you are, reading this. Maybe it feels like this message was written just for you, not for students, not for fans, just you. And then the real question appears, not a metaphor, but something real. What if all of this is true? What if there's a thin line between this life and the next? And on the other side is a light so pure, it almost scares you? Jung saw that light. He didn't want to convince anyone. He just wanted to say, find who you truly are. This path isn't about reading theories or believing ideas. It's about living it, feeling it, becoming it. It's been over 80 years, but have we changed? Are we less afraid of death now? Do we know ourselves better? Or has the noise, the technology, and the endless distractions made us forget who we are? Jung left us a warning. The truth that sets you free will hurt at first, and if you're not ready, it will be hard. Once you see your soul, you can't lie to yourself anymore. You might try, you might stay quiet, but deep inside, something will ring, like a faraway bell you can't silence. Now the message is complete. Nothing more needs to be said, but this isn't the end. This is the start. Nothing you're looking for is out there. It's inside you. Jung only opened the door. The journey ahead is yours. If you're still reading this, if your heart is beating faster, if a quiet feeling has come over you, then you're on the right path. It doesn't matter how old you are or what you believe. What matters is that you're searching. And if you're searching, then someone is already waiting for you. Jung didn't say the goal is to escape death. He said the goal is to go through it and discover your true self on the other side. Now close your eyes. Don't be afraid. Ask yourself honestly, am I living like my soul will live forever? Because maybe, just maybe, someone beyond this world is watching you right now as you read these words. If this message touched your heart, share it. Leave a sign. Tell others what you felt. Even a simple, "I'm here," can show someone else they're not alone. A like isn't just a button. It's a signal, a soft whisper. I hear you too. We're all searching, but when we recognize each other, we begin to see more clearly.